And good morning, everybody. It's Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. Today it is Open Line Fridays, and which means on Open Line Fridays, it's really up to you. Whatever you want to talk to me about, your viewer comments. We've got a lot of mail. It's funny how we get so much mail during the week. But today it's all about you today. Whatever questions you've got to do, usually Monday through Fridays or Monday through Thursday, I talk about stuff that's really near and dear to my heart. Thursdays we actually have Robbie Thomas on, and so he talks about finance. But today it's Open Line Friday. It's really about you. So well, if you want to jump in on the chat room, definitely get in on the chat side because I can actually see your questions. Do give the our browser permission to print your name so we can actually see what your name is, because a lot of people want to know that there's actually real people that are talking to us. So Black Success Magazine, if you would like to go to our website, and we've had people ask more and more about that, hey, where's the website at? It is at blacksuccessmagazine.com. That's blacksuccessmagazine.com. And if you can't be on the show today, you can always, and you want to, you've got a question, and this is what a lot of people do, is send me an email at info@blacksuccessmagazine.com, and we will get it by next week. And of course, you can always check us out, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Our YouTube channel is always cool. If you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, because you'll get updates when we put a new video up, or on your Alexa smart speaker, you can check that out. Once again, this is Open Line Friday. So before we get to any of the questions today, and like I said, you can leave a comment down in the comment section if you're on like Facebook or on YouTube or something like that, and we'll get to it in just a second. But wanted to let you guys know about something, about a project we're working on. It's called Las Vegas Speaks. And Las Vegas Speaks is going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to show you a little bit. So this is the website for Las Vegas Speaks. And you can actually get to it. Just go to lasvegasspeaks.com. That's Las Vegas, as LASVEGAS speaks.com. You go to the website and check out Las Vegas Speaks. So on the website, there's videos. There's some information about if you want to be a sponsor or something like that. And really, this website is really about, the platform is going to be about business movers and shakers, influencers, that kind of stuff. So really are very encouraged about that. We're finalizing a deal to put it on TV. So we've already shot a pilot for it. So on the website, you can actually check that out on the website for Las Vegas Speaks. So anyways, once again, this is Open Line Friday. And if you got any questions, I'm going to go over to the chat feature right now, and I'm going to see if there's anybody got a question, because I do have some questions in front of me. We've got a lot of viewer mail. So if you do have a question, there's like a little bit of a delay between what I will see your question and before I can answer it. But, don't fret. I will get back to it in just a second. So there was a question. Oh, before we get started, Cicely Tyson died last night, and we want to acknowledge Cicely Tyson. For those of you who didn't know who she was, I'm old enough to know Cicely Tyson for some of the work she did when she was younger. I mean, much younger. And she did when we first really knew about her, one of her biggest parts was a show called The Portrait of Jane Pittman. And if you didn't know what that is, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to another page here real quick because I want you to see this. And because what it was it was an autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. Sorry about that. What it was Cicely Tyson, who starred in this, and she went through this age progression during the time that she was on this show. And I'm trying to find a picture that really represents what she looked like at the end of the show. So I'm going to go to that and see if I can bring that picture up here real quick. Okay. So let's see. Well, I'm not going to be able to. Yeah. I sure will. So let's do this. I'm gonna go back to it real quick because you've got to see this. This was actually just remarkable, the transformation that she had in her life. And so um, this is the picture. So this over here is what Cicely Tyson ended up looking like at the end of the her transformation, and it was remarkable. I mean, it was not just a little transformation because she went from as being a young woman to being, I mean, really just very aged. And so you can see over here, this was the picture of her. Let me see if I can go down a little bit because she started out looking like that. So she started out looking like that, and then by the time it was done, here's a great kind of a picture how they put all of this on, so you can see what she looked like when she first started. And this was a lot. I mean, this show was like in the 70s, 80s, I believe it was. And then by the time it was all over with, they just caked it on her, and she got pretty old pretty quick. So once again, that's what she ended up looking like at the end of the time that she was on this show. Just remarkable. I mean, it was just a remarkable transformation of Cicely Tyson, which tells you kind of how much of a stretch she could do as an actress. I mean, she really was just fantastic. So Cicely Tyson died last night. She was 96 years of age, in dozens and dozens of movies, and you will see probably more and more accolades and people really reaching out. You've already seen Tyler Perry, who said he met her. My buddy in crime, uh, Robbie Thomas, said he met her at a presentation where he met her. She was only like 5'3", and she was just a little tiny little thing, but a powerful, powerful actress. So Cicely Tyson passed away. Let's go to, because it's Open Line Friday, and once again, if you have got a question for us, Black Success Magazine, the podcast, go ahead and put it in the chat feature. I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of questions that were asked, and I want to thank all the folks who've got questions for us, and you send them in during the week, which is cool. And so let me. These are remarkable questions. One of them says. This question is from Stan. He's in Atlanta. And he says, I live in a neighborhood where no one is successful. No one is motivated to do anything but do drugs and sit around. How do I break the cycle and get going with my life? And this is Stan. He's from Atlanta. Thank you, Stan, for that question. You're out in Atlanta watching the show, probably watching on YouTube or something like that. Thank you so much for the question. You live in a neighborhood where no one is successful, and this is not an unusual question where people are living in neighborhoods where nobody's going anyplace. One is, I think you're starting off doing the right thing this way. You're starting out by trying to reach out to look for people who've got a positive message. You are looking at Black Success Magazine. Really, it's all we talk about is success. So I would say first and foremost, reaching out via YouTube, via Instagram. There are plenty of things on Facebook, our website, Black Success Magazine, trying to get things in you. Really, you will not be able to change unless you change. Okay, you can't change anybody around you unless you change. It's kind of like what they tell you on an airplane. On an airplane, they'll tell you, if in the case of cabin depressurization, you know the whole thing, and they say, take the mask, put it on you first, and then take care of your kid. Okay, you cannot help anybody. You cannot take anybody where you have not been. So save yourself first. Okay. I know a lot of people going, oh no, it's about the neighborhood. I go, well, yes, but you will never be able to help the neighborhood unless you start saving yourself first. Start feeding yourself. As quickly as you can, find as many books and as many resources you can find on success, on moving forward. The more you know, the more you will be able to reach out for even deeper books and to deeper resources on that. As you continue to grow, one of the things you're going to find is that people are going to want to keep you back. They're going to really want to just hinder you and pull you back. Okay, this is when it gets hard. Okay, Stan, yeah, it's going to get hard because you're going to probably lose a lot of friends. That is part of what it takes to get out of that cycle. To break that cycle, somebody has got to say, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this whole thing. I found it in my own life. I was ostracized, vilified, called all kinds of names, saying that I speak differently, blah, 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 whatever, But in the end, you have got to break this cycle and you're going to lose some friends. Stop hanging out with those people. Okay, there's people in that neighborhood that are want to keep you back, so you're going to have to stop hanging out with them. Yes, they'll call you names. Yes, you might get some arguments or something like that. But you've got to save yourself. The people who truly care about you, who truly know that your effort is sincere, they are going to encourage you, and they're going to say, "Look, Stan, keep moving forward. That's right. You want to go to college, Stan? You go to college. We're there for you." But the people who are not your friends, they're going to be the ones that are going to be calling you names and saying, "Hey, you're this, you're that." Okay, those people, you don't want those people in your life, anyways, right? So, that's the way you get started in this. It's gonna be a lonely road. I can tell you right now. Anybody who has become very successful will all tell you the same thing, that yes, they wanted to save their neighborhood. Yes, they wanted to save all their friends, but in the final analysis, you can't save anybody unless you save yourself first. Then once you've saved yourself, you can go back to the neighborhood and you can help the neighborhood out. But you've got to save yourself first. Thanks, Stan. Great question. I really like that. This is Open Line Friday, Black Success Magazine. If you've got a question you'd like to put in the chat feature, definitely do that. We have a question from, this is Todd. It's Todd. You're in Kentucky. Wow. Said, I heard you're losing weight. He says, I'm 150 pounds overweight. Wow. Bless your heart, Todd. I love to eat and am not that active physically. Help, he says. Okay. All right, Todd. All right. Yes, I am losing weight. Thank you so much for noticing. I made that announcement. Got a lot of light in this room. Sorry. I'm going to close this up just a little bit more. So, yes, I have lost a total of 8 pounds so far. I'm going to go for 60. So I'm very excited about that. One of the things, losing weight is not tough. It really isn't. And you're 150 pounds overweight. I can tell you right now, first thing you probably want to do is really, you already motivated. Okay. So that's great. Because if you are motivated, you wrote a letter, which means you're there. Okay. You want to stop. You know that this is not good for you. And being 150 pounds overweight is definitely not good for you, especially around COVID. I mean, this whole COVID thing, one of the comorbidities of that will contribute to, the demise of people during COVID is being overweight, obesity, diabetes, that kind of stuff. So you are well on your way right now because you're already noticing it and you're saying, look, I don't want this to happen to me. So good choice. Bravo. Yeah. Very excited for you. So one of the first things you need to do is you need to check with your doctor. Okay, check with your doctor. Make sure that you are physically able to start an exercise routine because that's going to be part of what you're going to be doing, exercising. I ride a cycle every day. So I cycle, so I'm a bicycle rider. So I ride every day. Matter of fact, guys, I blew out a spoke today. So it's raining in Las Vegas today. I know we live in the desert, right? So it's raining today. I get up and sometimes you feel good. You just feel good and you want to ride, something like that. So I get up, I'm feeling great. I go outside. It's a sprinkle. You could tell there was a little bit of a sprinkle, but I said, you know what? I'm going to ride anyways. It was a little windy. I said, I don't care. I feel good. So I'm going to ride this morning. So I get out there and it's sprinkling a little. It's more than sprinkling, but it's not raining. So I'm riding, and I said, okay, I'm going to stay close to my house. And I will get back to your answer here, Todd. I really will, but I just want to relate this story. So I'm riding in a fairly small area. So the circle I'm riding is about a mile and a half circle, basically in my neighborhood. Because I want to stay close to the house. Because if it starts raining, I don't want to be out 8-10 miles and then have to come back in the rain. Well, the rain didn't seem like it was going down really hard. So I go, okay, I'm going to expand my circle a little bit more. And I went riding down a mile in one direction, and I'm going to make a right, and I'm going to make it a big circle now. So I'm going to do like a 4 or 5 mile circle, okay, to get my miles in this morning. So I'm driving down a hill. I'm about a mile and a half or something like that from my house. And all of a sudden, I feel something like I ran over something or a piece of metal or something like that. And I don't know, shoot, I must have run over something. So I stopped my bike, and like I said, it's pitch black. It's not even 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's like 5:30ish, something like that in the morning. Just started my ride, and something is metal underneath my bike. So I stomp on the side of the road. I start looking at it. Can't see anything. I go, man, that's really weird. Folks, make a long story short, I had a spoke on my wheel, on your bike. It broke. It's like the third time this has happened in like a year where I got a spoke that broke. And once a spoke breaks on your bicycle, your tire starts doing this. It does a little wobbly thing because it's just off balance, And so now I've got to turn around, go back home. Once again, the Lord shines down on me. And because I could have ridden in one direction, I would have probably gone about 10 miles before that spoke went. And I would have been 10 miles out and having to come back. And it was against the wind too that I was coming back. So anyways, Todd, back to your question. How do I lose weight? All right, 1, go to the doctor. Check out with your doctor. Say, hey, doc, how am I physically? Because you don't want to get, you want to know what's going on with you first. Number 2 is pick an exercise routine that you can live with. Okay. For me personally, I used to be a runner. So I was a marathoner, half marathoner. That was great. Loved doing that. And I could do that every day. Whatever you can do, find an exercise that you can live with, because you want this long term. You don't want to just exercise to lose, 10, 20 pounds and then not be able to sustain it. You want to find something that you can do long term. Okay. Number 3, your eating habits. Okay. Now this is really cool. Okay. Your eating to lose weight, you don't have to change your eating habits that drastically. Okay. You really don't. It takes a certain amount of calories for you to stay at the, whatever weight you're at. You can actually just cut out one thing out of your diet and literally you'll lose weight. Okay. So it's really very easy to lose weight. I personally, because my family has a history of diabetes and all kinds of weird things, I know I have to cut sugar out of my diet completely. So that's really kind of I'm going to find a substitute for it. But right now I have to cut that sugar, and sugar is in everything. So Todd, in a nutshell, there are certain things you need to do to lose weight. Those are a couple of things that you need to start looking at. Okay. And would you do me a favor, Todd? Because I know based upon what I've seen here that you watch us pretty regularly, send me another note. Tell me, what your progress is on this, and we'd love to hear more about it. It's Open Line Friday, folks. This is Black Success Magazine, the podcast. I'm Sherman Ray, and we're going through some viewer mail. If you are in the chat room, and we see people bouncing in and out of it, I know it's early in the morning here in Las Vegas. If you've got some questions you'd like to ask me, definitely send it out. And we're going to go back to, what is this? Oh, this is very cool. This is from Florinda. That's a pretty name. Florinda in Texas. She says, what is the most important thing a business owner must consider who's opening a new business? So what's the most important thing? One is that, will it make money? I think that's probably the most important thing. Is your business viable? You don't want to start a business that's not going to make any money. So the whole idea behind business I know, wait for it, is to make money. It really is. The bottom line is, will it make money? Yes, we all want to serve our community. Yes, we all want to contribute to society. We all want to do the thing. But the business of business is making money. And is it viable? Do people want your product or service? If they don't want your product or service, find something else. Okay. If not, you're really kind of spinning your wheels. And it doesn't mean that if people are not buying it right then and there, okay, because people, right, there are a lot of businesses that are in the wrong market. It doesn't mean it's a bad business. It means it's in the wrong market. So you have to do some consideration, do some demographics, that kind of stuff. Um, let's see, got quite a few questions here. My gosh. This question is: I'm thinking about investing in stocks. Oh gosh, that's a timely question. This one's from Freddie's in Maryland. What should I do first? He's thinking about investing in stocks. Okay, I think we all just saw this story today or this last couple of days. There's a group of investors, I guess, who were a part of a forum on Reddit and a couple other forums, and they found out about a stock strategy called shorting stocks. And basically, shorting stocks is basically betting that the stock you're going to buy is going to decline, or is going to, decrease in value, and you buy that stock back to make a profit. Okay, so anyways, these guys on Reddit, using an app called, I think it's called Robinhood, found out that this trend was going to happen directed at this one stock called GameStop. And so these guys on Reddit said, hey, let's all get together and we're going to buy that stock so it doesn't decline in value, right? Because they found out that these hedge funds were going to buy this stock knowing that it was going to decline in value. Now they're going to make a buttload of money. And these guys said, no, we are going to make money on this because we know what you're going to do. So they all started buying this stock on GameStop and from Reddit, from Robinhood, and they were making money hand over fist. So if the other guys who are buying the stock, knowing it will go up in price, are making money, guess who's losing money? That's right, the hedge funds. So those guys were losing money, and it just got ugly. So today, that's a big story. So this is a very timely thing you sent me here. This is Freddie. He's in Maryland. Before you start investing in anything, do some investigation. Know that you are very comfortable with that platform, that method, that strategy. Do some testing, because you can actually do testing without using your own money. So there are any number of applications, websites that you can practice stock trading. So before you jump into the whole stock thing, know what you're doing. Feel comfortable with it, or at least feel comfortable enough to do it. Would I say get a stockbroker? I would say that you could. There are people who say you couldn't. Okay, I am not a stock guy. I'm more of a real estate guy. I'm more of a business guy. So I'm more of a build a business because I can feel a business. I know what a business will do. I own a business. You do own stocks, which are parts of company, but it's very volatile. And anyways, so yes, do some investigating on that first. We've got time for just a couple more questions. And once again, thank you folks for submitting your questions. These questions, once again, came to us via the internet. So if you want to send in a question to us, you can send it to info@blacksuccessmagazine.com. We'll get it, and then next week we'll actually answer your question. Or if you send it to me via email, I'll probably answer it then and there. So a lot of these questions I've already sent answers back to, but we can definitely answer your questions on air for next week. Just send us a question to info@blacksuccessmagazine.com. All right, so this question is from Mike. He's in Alabama. I think it's Alabama. Should I invest in college or vocational school? Really, that this question has been going around a lot lately. college or vocational school. And here's my take on it. Not everybody is college material. Not everybody is. Is college good for you? Yeah, in some instances, it's really good. I can tell you right now, you can make a lot of money without being in college. But a lot of people who have made a lot of money, many of them have gone to college. Okay. Um, any kind of training you can get into is probably the most important part. I would always say get trained, trained, trained. You really want as much training as you can possibly get in whatever you're doing. So it's kind of a, that's kind of, I hope that's a good enough answer for you. Is college good for you? Definitely. Especially, is it a guarantee that you're going to be in the trade or you're going to continue in that particular thing? No. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't use the college degrees that they have, but they do use the learning, that whole, the whole practice of getting down and doing, you learn good habits by being in college. But is it a guarantee that you're going to get the job in the field that you're in? No, not at all. Okay, I think we got time enough for one more question because I talk a lot. Oh, of course. Super Bowl is around the corner. This one's from Lester in California. He said, Brady or Mahomes, Chiefs or the Bucks, and why? Okay, so many of you know I'm a big sports fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And the thing we've watched this year with Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been remarkable. Not just interesting, it's been remarkable. For those of you who don't know, Tom Brady is now going to be in his 10th Super Bowl, which is unheard of. The guy's 43 years of age, and he was most of his career, I would say all of his career, he was with the New England Patriots. They traded him, or he left, something happened, but he's no longer with the New England Patriots, went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and his coach, Bruce Arians, created a team around Tom Brady so he could be successful. He got what's the guy's name? Tight end. Forgot the guy's name now. Anyways, Gronkowski. Got Gronkowski. He got a couple other receivers. He's got a great receiving core. The defense even manned up, and they won their division, and they are now going to the Super Bowl. But they're going up against Patrick Mahomes. On the other side of the spectrum is Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be his third Super Bowl, and he could win it back to back. This kid's a phenom. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. So, for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, who's going to win? I would never bet against Tom Brady. Do I like Tom Brady? I would say that's not the question. I just happen to put that out there, so I almost put myself in a box. But I would say this. I would never bet against Tom Brady, but Patrick Mahomes is the future of football. And so that's my question. That's where I'm sticking with it. Okay. Anyways, this was Friday, folks. Thank you, folks, for being a part of the show, Dave. This has been Black Success Magazine, the podcast on Open Line Friday. If we encourage you to go to our website at blacksuccessmagazine.com, check out the magazine articles. Yes, there is a magazine on there, and it's awesome. Next issue is coming out in another month. Oh my gosh, it's coming out in March, so it'll be coming out. You can send me an email at blacksuccessmagazine.com if you'd like to be in the next upcoming issue. We've got people already asking us about it. If you want to be an advertiser, we'd love to be advertising in that magazine. Also, you can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And don't forget about Las Vegas Speaks. Okay, don't forget about Las Vegas Speaks. You want some more information about that, just send me an email, info@lasvegasspeaks.com. We will see you again next week, Monday, the day before my anniversary, my 30th anniversary and yeah, it's wonderful. We'll see you again next week, 8:30 in the morning for Black Success Magazine, the podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. We'll see you again next week. Have a wonderful weekend.